Hey, it's Joe Hashett from Synergy-Athletics.com. Today we're talking about some dumbbell rows, 2 ways to progress the row other than adding weight, and 1 way to break through a little plateau that you get with your back. And this is an exercise I did yesterday, so I'm not going to show a full weight, but I'm explaining basically the premise of the inverted pyramid when you're using dumbbell rows. There's basically 2 things you can do. The first is take away stability points. So I'm going to run through the dumbbell row variations with stability points. The first one is the one I learned in high school. Where you brace yourself 2 points on the bench, and you take the dumbbell here, keep your back flat, and you row. Then when we got to college, the coaches laughed at us a little bit, like, hey, why are you guys doing it like this? This is the way you got to do it. You got to put 1 point on a bench or on the lower row of the rack for your dumbbell rows. And then the last one's with no point of stabilization, where you're just holding it and rowing. Something to keep in mind, not which one of those is going to be the best one. It depends on what your weaknesses is. If you want to isolate what your weaknesses are, if you want to isolate the back, you're going to want to use more stability points. There's nothing wrong with that. When you go to 1 stability point, you're going to start engaging your core a little bit more, and if that's really weak, you might not be using your back as much. So you have to cycle these in, keep these in your toolbox. I'm not telling you to do one or the other, but use a little bit of each. The last one, when you're standing up, you're going to be using your glutes, your hamstrings to hold yourself in the core, so you're using a lot more muscles than your upper back. So it's important to remember those progressions. Everyone seems to know those. The second way to progress the dumbbell row is at the angle of your arm. So if I'm using two stability points, most people row right up to their body. Next progression is rowing it out at a 45. It's basically the opposite motion of a good bench press for healthy shoulders. So I'm taking it, I'm rowing it out. And the hardest one is when you bring your elbow out to the side, not quite up to parallel, so you're not pinching your shoulder, there's no impingement. You're keeping it a little bit below your shoulder, and you're rowing it out wide. The weight gets further away from your body, so it puts a lot more pressure on your back to hold it. Now those are the basic dumbbell row progressions, pretty simple. And I'm kind of getting a little stagnant with my rows. So yesterday I threw this in, I'm very sore today, so I'm just going to show it once. It's an inverted pyramid. And what I did is I started with a heavy weight. You pick 5 weights in a row. Start with 1 weight, do 2 rows each arm. Move to the next one, 4, then 6, then 8, then 10, and then back down towards a lower number. Usually people start from a lower weight and go up. With rows, you can actually do it either way. So I'm going to run through this real quick and show you this way, kind of an inverted pyramid for your dumbbell rows.
But not your safety. That's why when you crash, OnStar automatic crash response can use built-in sensors to automatically alert an OnStar hazard. If you're injured and your cell phone's out of reach, they can direct emergency help to your exact GPS location, leading your safety to the experts, not your chance. OnStar is standard for the first year of 15 Chevy models. Visit OnStar.com for details and system limitations.
Hey, we're talking about a tasty example. What works for you? Exactly. One sausage with making a big sandwich. 1 creamy roast coffee or sausage inside $3. What if I just ordered 2 sausage meat and a big sandwich? Let's run the numbers. Oh yes, $3.
Notice when I'm rowing, I'm trying to hold my shoulder retracted so I'm not swinging in the shoulder joint. I'm using the back more.
Hey, once again, plan out a little bit of extra time for the ride home with some slippery spots. Please stop closing the left lane on Route 17 westbound near exit 69. That's due to an earlier accident. Otherwise, Route 81 southbound, you're in good shape as you make your approach to Irving Route 81 northbound also at the speed and local race on the Bristol Parkway. In the Ridley Road Business and Technical Institute Traffic Center, I'm Tony Calico.
Roll on, yes we are. 6 o'clock hour, we got Cabo on the way, Metallica, we'll hear Theory of the Dead. The other thing is going to be worth some free pizza for you. A couple of hot and ready Little Caesars $5 pizzas, regular with pepperoni seeds, and a few. Those programs on the volume 4.
So I worked up to 10. I'm going to progress my way back down. So I'm starting to get up to the heavier weights again, drop my rut number. since it's a high volume exercise, you only want to perform one set. Thanks for watching. Please rate the video. Again, it's Joe from synergy-athletics.com, and I am wearing 2 different colored socks.